I love this little poster. I used to be happy, well-adjusted, but that was before the job that ate my brain. And this over here is kind of fun too. Since they don't pay me to think, do I really need a brain? So, this is an exaggeration, but sadly, it's not that much of an exaggeration. So why don't we take a look and kind of look at the data coming out of places like the Gallup organization. They do the kind of gold standard on employee engagement surveys, and see where are we at. How engaged are our employees, and what is it costing us? Well, according to Gallup, 17% of employees in the United States hate their jobs. They look at their employer as their enemy. They work against the company's interests. And if you had 100% employees who hated you, how do you think your company would perform? I'm thinking it's not going to do well, because there will be people who are going to sabotage your business, chase away your customers, create shoddy products and services, miss deadlines, and on and on. So I don't know, you might want to kind of chart in your own mind or on your notepad what you think your disengaged employees look like, but that's what it is in the United States this year. And if we could just fix this 17%, if we could turn these 17% of employees into engaged employees, guess how much that would save our economy? Just this 17%. We fix them. We get them back on track, get them back on as part of the program. What does that save our economy this year? Take a guess. Steve? No, 1 trillion. So that's how much wasted productivity, wasted innovation, wasted profits that are caused by a motivational malfunction. Let's look at the next category. I call them our trading partners. And these are people who, they come to work and they say, basically, I'll give you this much effort for this much pay. But that's our deal. I don't like you and you don't like me, so there's nothing personal. You're just going to pay me money for a certain amount of work, and then I go home and I don't care about you anymore. And sadly, half the workforce have that attitude. They come to work to make the money. They don't care about the company. If they get an idea, they're not going to share it with their company because they don't care about the company. It's strictly an impersonal transaction. How do you think we end up with half the workforce basically without their head in the game? Is it their fault, those lazy guys? Or do you think there's some responsibility on the part of management, maybe having an arm's length relationship with them as well? Because my whole book, you don't have to buy my book, well, there are a couple out there. The whole book boils down to what goes around comes around. If you project something on your employees, they're going to project it back at you. If you treat them in an arm's length relationship like they're just a low-class citizen, well, they're going to put their arm out too and treat you the same way. So that's one way we can kind of think about how to fix this group. And fortunately, 33% of our employees have their head in the game. They believe in the company and its mission. They're willing to go beyond the call of duty for their company. They're our champions. They're the 20% who do 80% of the work. Wouldn't it be nice if we could create more of these? 33%. Let's see, what would that be on a college exam if you get a 33% correct? Steve, what is that?
That's pretty much an
F. Steve says it's an F. Well, I agree. So companies worldwide get an F for motivating their employees. And this is an extreme, just in the United States, the 17% who are actively disengaged, that's 1 trillion. The 50% who are just normally disengaged, I'm going to toss in a couple more trillion. So there's like $3 trillion in lost revenue and profits because people don't have their head in the game. They're not motivated properly. Well, golly, that's a big problem in my view. And if we could fix that problem, we could have a huge impact on our country and globally. Now, here's how big of a problem it is. According to Deloitte, they do a global human capital trends survey every year, and they send out questionnaires all over the world to executives about what are their main problems this year. And in 2015, Deloitte said this year, employee engagement and culture issues exploded onto the scene, rising to become the #1 challenge around the world in our study. So what are we studying today? We're studying the #1 global business challenge is employee engagement and culture. And I'm just happy to live to see this because I've been struggling for 38 years, kind of waving my hands. Hey guys, I think this is important. This motivational stuff is important. Feelings matter in business. Let's come on, throw me a bone here. But then last year I got to see it's the #1 thing for business. In summation, there's a systemic malfunction occurring in the engine of the capitalist system. Now, if there's a problem, there's also a benefit if you can fix that problem. There's a money to be made if a company can figure out what that problem is, fix it, and now they have a strategic advantage over the competitors. So that's what I'm going to suggest today. What I'm giving you today is the fix for fixing this horrendous problem with the capitalist system. And if you implement that fix, I'm thinking good things are going to happen. And at the end of my talk, Steve Swanson and Holly Hoyer, who have actually used these ideas in their bank, McFarland State Bank, and they're going to tell you what happened when they implemented the fix.